Filipinos are not strangers to disasters and crisis. Philippines has been affected by and is always at risk to large-scale disasters. In the last decade, we have witnessed the increasing frequency and magnitude of disasters that struck the country.
We all know how imperative it is for states to protect the people during calamities by being fully capable and equipped. Equally important, yet more challenging, are the steps that we undertake once the dust settles, those for the recovery and rehabilitation of affected communities. Our roles do not end with the last drop of rainfall, last tremor of an earthquake, or last household evacuated to safety. It does not even end upon the restoration of affected communities to their original state, but stretches all the way until we make all communities more resilient and more prepared for any eventuality.
No one can forget Typhoon Ondoy in 2009, which flooded Metro Manila. And in 2013, of course, Typhoon Yolanda ravaged Tacloban, Samar, Leyte, and many other regions in Visayas. It was followed by many more typhoons over the years, destructive earthquakes in 2019, and a series of storms that caused severe flooding in the latter part of 2020. And recently, we have experienced volcanic eruptions. On top of all these, the country is also dealing with this ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Over the past 15 years, the Philippines has invested in improving its disaster prevention and mitigation interventions, as well as its preparedness, emergency management, and response policies. Recently, we are witnessing a policy shift towards preparedness for disaster, recovery, and rehabilitation, as well as increasing resiliency among people and communities. To support the Philippine government's policy shift towards disaster risk reduction and preparedness for recovery and rehabilitation, the Disaster Council, Office of Civil Defense, and World Bank are implementing a nationwide Ready to Rebuild program. It is a capacity building program which provides key stakeholders with a how to prepare communities and local governments to be more resilient and ready to respond and recover from disasters. Better, faster, greener, and smarter. The Ready to Rebuild program is focused on the provinces, cities, and municipalities. This is for the governors, mayors, decision makers, technical staff, and key stakeholders to plan, finance, implement, and monitor recovery and reconstruction projects for their respective cities and provinces. Learning from the lessons of previous disasters and crises, and adopting global good practices, the Ready to Rebuild program serves as a platform for knowledge exchange among peers. It can also help polish skills and build on existing recovery plans. It is also an opportunity to develop a local recovery plan to ensure that local governments, communities, and the people can achieve a green, resilient, and inclusive recovery.
Dalawang masasabi kong key takeaways from here. Yung una is the importance of data collection and coming up with baseline data and proper baseline data in the LGU. Kasi it really just emphasize how important it is, not just in prevention and mitigation of disaster risk, but in preparing for the eventual recovery of the LGU. Nagkaroon ng justification pa lalo na for data collection on our communities. Nagkaroon ng push sa amin, motivation to really push through and conducting the community-based monitoring system in Quezon City. Nagkaroon kami ng push to program a pre-disaster recovery and rehabilitation planning program in Quezon City by 2022 to program it and charge it to the local Dream Fund. Second key takeaway is the risk financing options. Maraming information na available out there pero hindi siya consolidated in a way on how we can use it on on recovery and rehabilitation. The program gave us an opportunity to look at all these options together and to choose and to assess kung ano yung akma, ano yung kakayanin ng LGU na piliin para sa aming communities. After the Ready to Rebuild program, na-realize namin meron na pala kaming mga na-integrate na mga risk financing strategy. Hindi lang namin pinagtatagpi with DRR and CCA.
For me, it's a big opportunity and a privilege for me because it's a big help. So, laking tulong para sa akin personally as a disaster manager and also a big help para sa ating LGU in sense that after the training, we have already a recovery and rehabilitation plan na ngayon na ina-adapt ng LGU ROAS. Right now, I'm very proud and confident, maybe we can say, that on my hand, I have the rehab and recovery plan na ini-integrate na natin ngayon sa dream plan na ginagawa natin. Because of what we learned for the plan that we have, at least mayroon tayong specific na mga targets na kung sinong pwede natin bigyan ng assistance in case that will be affected with a disaster. So, hindi lang always cash for work kasi yan yung palaging nasa dream plan natin. Ngayon, marami na from the livelihood and business aspect, agriculture, fisheries, or aquaculture. Mayroon naman tayong sa housing natin.
The Ready to Rebuild help us open our eyes on how we can put systems and tap into existing resources of the municipality so that in the event of any calamity or any disaster, we are more than ready to build back better. What has mainly changed is that when there is a disaster, we usually react to the disaster. But with the Ready to Rebuild program, with the system already put in place, we are now proactive. You have helped us improve our capacities, help us realize our resources, and help us be ready in any disaster for a better future for our constituents and for our community. We are not talking about minimal change, but systemic change, a way of thinking, in that you cannot say that we just pray that disaster should not visit us, but instead, in case a disaster will visit us, we are ready.
Always keep in mind that our people deserve the benefits of progress, protected from the ravages of disasters. Therefore, let us continue to strive relentlessly to build a safer, climate change adaptive, and resilient Philippines.